Hey everybody, my name is Jeff Koss, and I'm doing this small presentation for a class that I'm taking over at the University of Advancing Technology. The class is Python-1, and the assignment is called Lists, Indexing, Dictionaries, and Other Common Data Structures. My professor is Professor Hinton, and in this assignment, I basically have to make a new application, which I did, and I have to use two or more data structures from this list. I can choose between lists, dictionaries, sets, and tuples. So I chose lists because, well, it seems to be the very common thing. List is kind of like your standard. And I chose dictionaries because you can use values with them. And what I mean by that is you can actually, for all intents and purposes of this thing, I basically use the dictionary to be able to provide extra data for the things being stored. So basically a small description. Okay, so let's dive into it. Here's the rubric, but we're going to dive right into this and get our hands dirty. This program is kind of extensive for a second week program. I took a lot of time and effort to make sure I did it and did it right. It turned out good. I like it. I'm really happy with it. So up at the top here, I have all the information regarding the assignment and where it goes and who it is. So I'm using PyCharm for this assignment. I like PyCharm. I know the professor is using Visual Studio Code. I'm kind of bouncing back between the two of them because I want to learn both of the IDEs. I think I did a good job. We'll see though. Okay. So let's begin. I really didn't have any libraries to import, so obviously there's none there. So I made two different, well, I guess you'd call them global variables for this, as in global as I did not write them inside of the main game loop. I kept them separate. It's just the way I do things, I guess. That's what I was taught. The first thing is called the to-do list, and as you can see, there's an equal sign and a pair of curly brackets. That means that this is going to be a dictionary. That's how you can tell that this is a dictionary, because of the curly brackets. Then I have what they call a grocery list, and that is a list, and you can tell it's a list because of the square brackets. Now, because this is running in a game loop, or a program loop, I should say, in this aspect, I have to have a control mechanism to make sure that we have a way to get out of that loop. So I have a boolean called game over. I flagged it to false. While the game over isn't false, the game loop will continue to run. Once it is flagged to true, the game loop will stop and the game will end. So here's what this does. So I call this the list application. All right, so when you first play it, it introduces the game itself, and it gives you basically three options. You can make a detailed to-do list to keep track of everyday tasks. And what this to-do list does is it basically, you can type in a task and then a short message that will explain what you're supposed to do. For example, yard work. Well, what kind of yard work? We're going to cut the grass. So it's that type of a dictionary. So the other one is a grocery list, and that uses an actual list. Basically, you'll be able to keep track of your groceries, add, subtract, or clear the list, or you can quit the program. So then you have to input a choice, and through that choice, it's going to go through a set of else-if statements, and basically take you to the part of the program that it wants you to run. So if you choose one, you're going to get your to-do list, which is your dictionary, and in that you will be able to view your to-do list, so to see if there's anything inside of it. You can add an item to the to-do list, you can remove an item, you can clear the whole list of everything and start over, or you can quit the program. So subsequently, in your grocery list, you have basically the same functionality. You can view the grocery list, add an item, remove an item, clear it, or quit the program. So here's how it works. Obviously, there's a lot of code here, as you can see. So if you basically want to view your to-do list, it's going to give you an itemized list, and it's going to print out basically it's going to print out the thing in the list, and then it's going to print out the description next to it, and that's how I do it. I use a for loop. In this instance, it's for x in the to-do list, and we print x with a colon, and then the to-do list and what is inside of that to-do list, inside that list, basically. And that's how that works. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's how I'm going to explain it. If you want to add to the list, so it's going to give you a choice. It asks you what would you like to add. You have two things you add here. The to do, which is your main input, that's going to be the item that you're putting into the list, and then the description, and that is the second input, where you're going to be able to give a description to the list. And then basically what we do is we update the list, and we add that item and the description to it through this to-do list.update, and in that update we add the to-do part and then the description, and then we print it out to make sure that you know that it's been there. To remove it, it's another input. It asks you what do you want to remove. You type in what you want to remove. If that item is in the list, it will remove it. Otherwise, it will tell you that it is not in the to-do list. Clearing it basically clears the entire list. It erases everything inside the list, but the list still remains. I use clear to do that, not delete. If we use delete, it would wipe out that list, or it would wipe out that dictionary, and it would be no more. So in the grocery list, it is basically the same thing, except in the grocery list, in the grocery list, we basically remove, see this dot remove? We remove whatever is in the grocery list. In a dictionary, we use pop. Pop basically will remove whatever's in the list that we want to remove. And then basically the rest of it is just repetition until you want to exit the game, and then it's game over equals true. And there you go. Okay, so it's basic, but it functions really well. So let's get into this. We're going to start the program right now. Typing in Python main.py. Here you go. So this is called the list app. It gives you a welcome screen here. So you can choose to do something with your to-do list or grocery list, or exit the program. Let's do the simple one first. Let's do the grocery list. Okay, so we hit 2. Here you go. Welcome to the grocery list. You can choose from the following. Let's view the grocery list and see what's in it. Okay, there's nothing in it, so the grocery list is empty. So how we do that is I basically check the length of the grocery list to see if there's anything in it. If anything is above 0, we know there's something in the grocery list. But if the length equals 0, we know that there's nothing in the grocery list. And if that's true, then we type out the message, the grocery list is empty. Okay. So what happens after you, in this particular program, because we didn't do functions or anything like that yet, what happens is after you make a choice, it does what it's supposed to do, and then it basically goes back to the start menu. So we'll have to go back into the grocery list. We're going to add something to the grocery list. Let's type in salt. So salt was added to the grocery list. It goes back to the main menu. We'll go back to the grocery list. Let's view the grocery list. Inside the grocery list, you have salt. Go back to the grocery list. Let's add something else. Let's add cake. Cake was added. Let's check it out. View the grocery list. Now you have salt and you have cake. Go back to the grocery list. Let's remove an item from the grocery list. Let's remove salt. Salt has been removed. Go back to the grocery list. View your grocery list. You only have cake in there. Go back to the grocery list. Let's try salt again. This time, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't acknowledge that the salt was removed because it was already removed. So if we take a look at the grocery list, cake is still in there, nothing else happened. All right, grocery list. Let's clear the grocery list. Grocery list has been cleared. Take a look at it. View grocery list. Grocery list is empty. Let's go to the to-do list. Now this is a little different. We view the to-do list. It's empty just like the grocery list was. Go back to the to-do list. Add something. So what would you like to add to the to-do list? Let's type in car. All right. Add a brief description when you wash it. Okay. So now let's view our to-do list. Now you can see items in your to-do list. Car, wash it. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. Go to the to-do list. Add another thing. Say grass. What do you want to do? Cut it. Go to the to-do list. View the to-do list. Now you see car, wash it, grass, cut it. Now let's remove something from the to-do list. We're going to remove car. All right, car has been removed. Let's take a look at the to-do list. We have grass in there only. All right, so we know all of this works. Go back to the to-do. Boy, that's a tongue twister. Go back to the to-do list and clear it. Okay, we cleared it. Take a look at it, view. Your to-do list is empty. So everything is working appropriately. Everything works, and it works exactly as it's supposed to, so we can quit the program. And it says, thank you for using your list app. Goodbye. And that is my presentation. So we have demonstrated basically two different lists. We demonstrated a list by making a grocery list. We demonstrated a dictionary by using it in a to-do list, which gives you the object of what you want to do and a brief description of that object that you want to do. That is my presentation. Thank you very much. And if you liked what you've seen here, please give me an A, because they all add up and I want to be that 4.0 student. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.